Hello everyone, this is Cheryl. I am coming here today to do a trash to treasure type thing. So what I have done is I've saved, and I do this all the time, I save chocolate boxes, cereal boxes, cracker boxes, and packaging, and junk mail, and direct mail flyers, security envelopes, different things. And you can do so many things with them. So what I have here is 2 packages, empty packaging papers. These were in the Tim Holtz things that I have, that I recently bought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can make something beautiful from these 2 things without even using digitals. Okay, I have nothing against digitals. I use them all of the time, but you don't have to have digitals in order to make something beautiful for your journal. And if you're a beginner, you may not have a whole bunch of digitals. You may not have a whole lot of supplies, but almost everybody has book pages. Almost everybody has napkins of some sort. Almost everybody has packaging or junk mail or cracker boxes or chocolate boxes that you can save. And so from these things you can make tags and journal cards and all sorts of things, pockets, all sorts of things, and they're beautiful. If you have magazines, what I did was I went through a flower magazine, and it had flowers in it, and I have a scalloped punch, and I went through, you can see it's a magazine page. So I went through and I cut flowers, things that, this is a group of flowers, but it could make a nice flower. And so I did that with some of the flowers that were on this particular page. And those are going to be great. I backed some of them that I'm going to use with like a cardstock, type paper, a heavier paper, because I want to use that in a special way, and I need it to be a little sturdy. So I have that. And so what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to collage over these with book pages. Okay, very easy. I'm going to use this glue stick because it has more in it. I love Scotch Create glue stick. I'm not sponsored in any way, but I like this glue stick because it really works. This is the only glue stick that I have ever found that really holds things well. So I just want to put that out there. I do want to cut this because I don't think that I'm going to need this top part where the hole is, so I do want to cut that. In fact, I think I'll just cut it with scissors for now, and I can straighten it up if I don't get it straight on the paper trimmer later. Just for the sake of doing this, it's not too bad. For this one, I'm going to leave it. It has that bend, but by the time I'm finished and I covered here and I back it with something, I think it's going to be fine. And I'm going to make 2 journal cards, for in a journal. Let's see. And what I have here are 2 napkins, and I have already taken the back 2 layers, those 2 white layers off. I've already done that. So this is what I have. And this is what I have right here. I didn't turn my light on. Let me turn the light on so that there's better lighting. Is that better? Oh my goodness, yes. So anyway, here is my 2 napkins, and I'm going to strategically place my cards underneath, to get the things that I want to get. I'm going to show you how you can make some beautiful, and you can make beautiful tags, beautiful journal cards, and you can use, any style napkin that you want. I just happen to love these 2. So anyway, I have regular book pages here, and I have all kinds of, I have some that are different colors, some music paper, dictionary pages. Let me see what else I have in here. You know, interesting papers. And I'm just going to use those. Oh, I like that. I'm just going to use these papers that are scraps. Some of this is a printed digital, but you know what? It's a scrap. And you can, you know, you're allowed to use your scraps if you choose. But you can do the whole thing. This is some kind of book page in another language. So I have enough here. So let's just get to it. I'm just not going to be too precious about it, but I am gonna use my ruler. I'm not going to cut. I'm going to tear. And I'm just going to cover them. Oh my goodness, it's really stuck. Just going to cover them, and I'm not going to ink each individual piece right now or anything like that. I don't even know if I'm going to have to ink. But I'm just going to start covering. Okay. And I try not to get too much of that white. I try to get mostly the text block. I don't know, that's just a personal preference of mine. You can do whatever, you know, if it doesn't bother you to have those white spaces, you can certainly, don't have to bother tearing them off. But I really like having mostly just the text block when it comes to a page with print on it. So, and I'm just hanging over the edge. I'm going to trim it up after I get it finished, you know. And I'm on parchment paper here. It's a good thing, because things get sticky. They're going to get a little sticky. Things are going to get a little sticky here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so you don't have to have a lot of fancy supplies. You know, when I first started out, and until this past year, I really didn't have a lot of digitals at all. The whole time I've been junk journaling, and I tell you, that's the meaning of junk journaling, is using junk, right? So that's how it started. I know that, you know, now junk journaling has kind of lost its origin, but, you know, that's how it started. We used book pages of all kinds to make the pages in our signatures, and, you know, and we just used a lot of things out of magazines and books, and I imagine that some people still do. You know, I do. I'm doing it today, and I'm doing it mainly, well, it is a lot of what I do, although I do use a lot more digitals today than ever before. But I want to show you that you can be creative. In fact, I think sometimes you're more creative if you are using junk. I mean, you have to think, right? So you're going to be more creative than if you didn't. Okay. I don't know if I can put this whole thing on there. I might just try to get the music. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to let that one dry a little bit before I cut it, and I'm going to go ahead and, we don't want any peely uppies. So always make sure you get all the way to the end. All right, so here we go. And, so how many of you still use junk? You know, like, these are free craft supplies, guys. You know, like we buy this Tim Holtz stuff, or we buy other things. And a lot of times, you know, we're throwing this stuff away, and, you know, it can make a great make a great piece of ephemera for in our journals out of it. And I also use cards, you know, like the fronts of cards at Christmas time or birthday cards or any kind of card. And because sometimes if you cut the, you know, it opens up and you use the front part and you cut the other part off, you can make a great journal card. I mean, you can add a couple of things to it and you have a great, easy, quick piece of ephemera, and you haven't spent any more money. You know, today, you know, money is sometimes tight. You know, we want craft supplies and stuff, but we have them right at our fingertips so many times. So here we go. So I am putting this down. Let me put it this way. I turn them around. I don't keep all the writing in the same direction, you know, necessarily. I try to switch them up for interest. And this is very fast too, you know, like, doesn't take a lot of thought. Very relaxing. Oh, music paper. I love that. Yeah, I want that. But I want to put another piece down first. How about this other piece? Some of this off. Look at that, it just fits. And this, you know, if you choose a napkin that has kind of a white background, then it kind of becomes, when you take that, all the backing pieces off, and then you just have that top layer, then what happens is that white, when you glue it down, it almost disappears, and you can see behind it, like on the tags that I'm going to make with the napkins here. You're going to be able to see, you know, behind and see some of what's going on behind on these tags. So, okay, so I have that, and I have this, and now I'm going to trim this up. All these extra pieces off. Whoop. Don't want that to happen. And because I have decoupaged this, or glued this paper down onto this, it is already, you know, not bending anymore. It is already sturdier. And of course, I'll put something on the back, like, I don't know, maybe pattern paper or parchment paper, something thin that you can still write on it or whatever. Keep feeling like this is crooked. I don't think it is. I think it's straight, but you know, I don't know, my eyes are playing tricks on me. On the back, it doesn't look. And I'm going to deal with these little peely-uppy places here. These places that want to peel up that I didn't get down real well, because we don't want them peeling up. Okay, so there's one journal card. Yeah, I've done this. And one time I made a whole journal. It was part of a challenge that I did in a group. I did a journal that was, the whole thing was, it was a true junk journal. The whole thing was junk. We couldn't use digitals at all. We could only use like magazines, books, book pages, packaging, gift bags, old gift bags, cards, whatever, you know, we had like that, security envelopes. And I managed to make a whole journal with just junk. Okay, we made our tags out of, junk mail like this. Here's another Peely Uppy, which I need to deal with because we don't want that. Okay, just make sure that you get it all. Always make sure you close up your glue so it doesn't get gummy. All right, so I'm going to get rid of all this, not this, not that, but all this stuff. All right, so now what I have is 2 journal cards. And so now what I'm going to do, oh geez, that is still doing that. Didn't I just say that this really works? I think I just didn't get it. There, it's down there now. It's not going anywhere now. Okay, so I have to move this out of the way and put it right back in here in this bag. All right, now we have room. So on this one, I'm going to work with this one first. I think I have it upside down. So I want to get this rooster. I got to have him in. The whole purpose of making this journal card was so that I could have this cute little rooster. So I'm going to lay my napkin on there, kind of where I want it. Make sure that the pieces that I want to show are going to show. Now a little bit of his tail's going to be cut off so that I can get the whole watering can in, but it's only just a little bit, and I'm not worried about that. That doesn't bother me a bit. So I'm going to cut roughly around it, cut that piece out that I want. Okay. Save the rest of the napkin for another purpose. And when I lay him down, when I lay this down on here, I'm just going to make sure I'm getting it. Or do I care about that? I don't know. I guess I do. I guess I do want to just barely get it on there. All right. So what I'm going to do now, and you can see, well, you'll see it better when it's done, but you can see through that white now, but you'll see it even better later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue all over the journal card. And I love to decoupage this way. I don't know if any of you have done this before, but this is my favorite way to put napkin on. And it involves having to make sure that you get all the areas of the card filled with your glue stick. But I like the feel of it because the napkin, after it's down, it almost has a fabric-y kind of feel. Okay. All right, so I've got glue all over, all the way to the edges. And now what I'm going to do is very, very carefully lay that down. Very carefully. Pressing it very gently, very light-handed. And there I have it on there. Okay. And now I'm just going to trim off. Actually, what I'm going to do to get that edge off of there, well, let me do the other one, and then while this one dries a minute, and then we'll do them both at the same time. Okay, so this is the second one. And for this card, I think I want to get, I think I want it right there because I want that butterfly, or do I want this one? I don't know. can do either one. But I think I'm going to go with this one. Right here in the center. I'm going to go right there with that. Okay? So, in this case, I'm going to do half of it at a time. Make sure I get the glue all the way to the edge. All the way to the edge of the card. Alright, and then I'm going to down. Oh, that looks so nice. Lift it to where it's glued, and then just go up here. Getting messy. All right, so I don't need that glue on there. And now I'm just gonna very carefully lay that down. I think I didn't get this little edge. All right, so that is down. Sticking. I'm just going to rough cut this out. And I'm going to save the rest of the napkin for another purpose. I can still get some things out of there. Smaller tags, other tags, you know, different sizes, whatever. All right, so there's that one, and there's this one. So now what I'm going to do, now I have a sanding block, and I'm going to go around the edges with the sanding block. If you don't have a sanding block, you can also use an emery board, a nail file, you know, and I'm just going to do this. And it's gonna start to come off of there really easy. See that? And it has a much better look than if I try to cut real close, cut the napkin. So I'm just gently going around here. Boy, this is a tough napkin. There it comes. Okay. Has such a nice look. Okay. Nice finished look. See that? Comes right away from the card. And there it is. All right. So there's that. And see, you can see the writing. Here's the Chinese paper, the regular book page, the music page. You know, you can see it. Even through the color parts, you can see it. All right, so we're not done yet. I'm going to do this one. every time you get junk mail that you normally just pitch in the trash, reevaluate it and see if you can keep it. When you empty your cracker boxes, a lot of times, many of them are white cardstock. That's free cardstock. Not free, you paid for it, but you know, it's like you got more bang for your buck because you get to craft with it. All right, so here's my 2 journal cards. Now, so I like to ink. So yes, we can ink. I'm going to use Vintage Photo because vintage is my style. These take the ink. The napkins will take the ink really well. I'm going to go around the edges. You know, now I'm gonna do something on the back of this, maybe not on camera, but I am gonna put like parchment paper, like natural parchment paper that is not white like this, the kind that's not bleached. I might want to do a little tiny bit, just bring that color down just a little bit, vintage it up a little bit. Okay. Now, in order to get these perfectly straight, as you can see, they kind of bend a little bit. You just lay them under some books, man. Just lay them under books overnight or for a few hours, and I promise you, they will be straight, and they will be just like any other journal card. I have done this so many times, and I have used napkin like that on music paper as a page in a journal, you know, to decorate it and make it pretty, because maybe I didn't have a lot of scrapbook paper, and especially digitals. Okay, so there's that. Now I don't know, I'm thinking, do I want to round some of the corners on either one of these? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave them be. So what I want to do now is add to them a little bit of dimension. So there's already flowers down here. I understand that. But I want to add a flower and kind of raise it up off of the page. And on this one, I think I'm gonna add that flower. I don't know, which flower do I want to add? I kind of like this one. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna use a little bit of that foam stuff. You know, we have this Crafter's Square Pop Dot tape. So I'm gonna get a couple pieces of that. And do I wanna, this has a little bit of gold around it. I'll go around it a little bit. But I'm gonna raise it up and make it look more 3D by adding a couple pieces of this tape. Okay, and that is going to raise it up off of the card and make it 3-dimensional looking, and I love that. Let me fix this. When I was doing this, I was trying to hurry, and you know, that's never a good idea. Trying to hurry just isn't the way to go. But anyway, all right, so I'm going to take this off of there. Now, if I wanted to sew around this, I could sew around it too. But I'm not going to do that today. I am going to add a little bit of glue even to this Pop Dot. It's pretty sticky, but I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue. And I'm going to put it right at the edge of this stem. And there you go. And see, it sticks up a little bit and it makes it 3D. It adds a little bit of interest. And I think I will round the corners on this one. Let me get my corner rounder. Yeah, corner rounder. I think it'll make it interesting. Let's just add a little interest. Let's just do it. If I can do it with this flower here. Oh, I might not be able to. I did it. Okay, so there we go. So I've rounded the edges of that. And now I have a very large journal card that can go in a large pocket in a journal. And it measures 1, 2, 3, 4 3/4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. Now, if that's too long when I go to do my journal, I'm going to take a little bit off of the top here, you know, and to make it, and then I'll round it again, and that'll take it down a little bit if I have a smaller journal, but I don't know. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I don't know yet because it might go in a bigger journal. I'm planning to make a large journal. I've seen people do it and they make large pages by adding 2 pages together, binding them, you know, sewing them together or attaching them together, and then they have larger pages to work with. And I've been wanting to do something like that. And this might be the journal to do that, because this might be one of those eclectic type journals. Okay, I'm doing the same thing with this because it's just so pretty. And this is full of flowers, but over here we don't have a flower. So I'm going to even leave it, the very edge of it, just hang off the card a little bit. And there you go. So these are 2 very large, simple journal cards. Now I could add lace. Let's see, I could add lace that would hang out the edge, and or I could, you know, add a little piece of doily down here on the corner if I wanted to do that. I mean, you can decorate them up more, you know, like if I wanted to just put some doily on the corner there just for some interest, I could. And I might do that. I actually like that. That's cute. Let's do it. So I'm just going to put my glue. Take my doily and place it. Dab up any glue that I don't want there. Then I'm going to trim it off. So now we have another element that we have added. Very pretty. Okay. Have a little peely-uppy, little place that I didn't get. And now I have it. There we go. Now, very pretty. If it's too long for the journal that I make, I can cut it up here. Even though it would cut part of this butterfly, most of it away, I still have a butterfly here as a focal point. So, you know, and I might do that, I might not. Just depends. This is the size of like a tag. A lot of my tag shapes are this long, and they can be clipped. This journal card could be clipped onto a page, and it would cover most of the page, and it would be, you know, very, very pretty. And so with this one, you know, Do I have a page? I thought I had a journal page. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back, and you won't even know I'm gone. Okay, I'm back. So here you go. I grabbed a piece of coffee dyed paper, the size that I would put in a journal. And as you can see, this is a pretty big journal card, and it could just be clipped onto the edge of a page. It could be made a flip out. I'm going to cover the back of this, either with paper or with, I have pattern, old sewing pattern paper that's very thin, makes a very nice, it's already vintage looking. So this could be a flip out. It could be just attached. It could be attached on 3 sides and a little divot, and it could be a pocket this way, or it could be a pocket this way in a journal. And I didn't use a digital. I used packaging. I used a napkin, and I used a magazine flower. Okay. And it's very, very pretty. Same with this one. I used packaging, which I will cover the back depending on what I'm going to do with it. I used packaging, a napkin, and book pages. Don't forget, I collaged with book pages and, scrap book pages. And paper doily out of my scrap. This is my scrap stuff, collage stuff. And a magazine flower, which I backed. And the same thing. It can be a pocket. It can be a journal card. It can be a flip out. It can be whatever you want in a botanical journal. It just is beautiful. You can, you can make these. You can use any kind of napkin that is your style. If the farm style or the botanicals are not your style, you can use whatever is your style. But I love chickens and roosters and the farmhouse style. And so this would be perfect for in a journal that I would create. So there you go. There's 2 large journal cards made from packaging. I could also have made these narrower and made them into tags. I quite often use packaging to make tags, but I wanted to show you that you can make other things. I could have cut them in half. I could cut this in half, and I could have had 2 pockets with a little divot, and used napkins of some sort, another type, and I could have made 2 pockets. So you can use this to do all kinds of things for in your journal, and you can combine this kind of thing with digitals and scrapbook papers and whatever to make a beautiful journal. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more tutorials or flip throughs or anything that I post here on my channel. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers, and have a great day. Bye-bye.